Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. So since the last episode, as I mentioned, I doubled our power supply. So I added another set of boilers and steam engines on the left side of this belt of coal. So we now have plenty of electrical production. Our coal patch is starting to get rather small though. I also added a fourth iron smelting line, and you can see here that the coal is getting to be pretty sparse down here. So what I did, and I'm not sure if this has made it through all the way up here yet, but what I did is down here, this was dedicated for the coal or for the plastic production. I put a priority splitter here, and I set the output priority to the right side. So this coal will always be going to plastic by priority, but again, if this gets backed up, then I'll divert the rest of it over here to feed the smelting area. And like I said last time, I think the next thing we need to do is get a train network to a big coal patch so we can start bringing in lots of coal to the base to keep this running and to give us more electricity. In the meantime, I did research robot speed levels 1 and 2, and I researched robot cargo size level 1, and now I'm starting to do mining productivity. And I also researched the one that gives us electric furnaces and purple science packs. Not that I'm going to do purple science now, but I thought we might want to have electric furnaces as we start to expand so that we can use electricity for smelting from here on out. I won't upgrade these. I might upgrade these to steel furnaces at some point, but because if we go steel furnaces and red belts, then we'll be able to double the amount of iron plates that we produce here. But to do that, we're also going to need more iron. So we'll probably need, we're going to need to have an iron ore outpost and start bringing in iron by train. Otherwise, we won't have enough. Now, to feed this, I got a little creative here. Also with the priority splitters. Since I have 4 lines of iron ore coming up, and I have 5 lines consuming iron ore, I put a priority on the first belt, so any overflow will continue down. Priority on the second belt, priority on the third belt. So that way any iron ore that doesn't go down these 3 belts will get passed down the line. And then down here, I have priority going all the way up to this one to give me more iron plate. But you can see that right now, that means I'm not getting any iron ore for steel. So I might have to change these to be normal splitters. Otherwise, I won't get any steel production. I'm going to keep doing mining productivity because I think that's a extremely valuable bit of research. And the earlier in the game that you do it, let's do this. The earlier in the game that you do mining productivity, the sooner you're going to be able to reap the benefits. Okay. All right. So this way, I won't get as much iron plate this way, but at least I'll be able to keep making a little bit of steel at least. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to do is upgrade all of this to advanced oil processing. So let's get started with that. So I'm just going to change the recipe, advanced oil. I did guess right on where the oil goes and where the water goes, which I'm thrilled to see. Okay, so we upgrade those and nothing is going to happen until I get some water brought in. So we'll do that next. That's the closest water supply I have. Water is pretty well spread out on this map, which I like. I mean, I like to have water around so that it's not too far when you need it, but I don't like a ton of water because then you need a lot of landfill when you start laying out your train network. Unless you're dedicated to just building your trains around the water, which is, you know, obviously an option, but not very enjoyable in my opinion. I like keeping my rails straight. Okay, can I go straight across here? Yes, I can. All right, so we'll jump there. Perfect. Oh, these power poles are in the way. All right, so let's try to fix that. There we go. Okay, that restores power that way. And that restores power that way. Okay. Good. Okay. So let's make an outshore pump. Where is it? Here we go. I'll just use this little puddle here. Okay. And now we have water. Refineries. Yeah, refineries are now running. At least they will until these pipes fill up. Okay, now the advanced recipe gives us more petroleum per unit of oil, crude oil, and it gives us more. Is it more light oil? Let me check that. I don't recall now. Yeah, it gives us more light oil and more petroleum and less heavy oil. Okay, and in this case it's good because it's mainly petroleum that I'm interested in. The heavy oil I don't care too much about. I do want a little bit for lubricant, but I don't need a lot of it. And then the light oil I want to get rid of. So, and actually I wish I had some more room here. Well, that's okay. I can deal with it. Okay, so then the next thing that we can do is we can start using up the light oil, and we can start to convert it into petroleum. All right, so let's make a little room there. I'm going to put a pump on that tank. We only need one. These two tanks will even themselves out. And I'll bring that up here. All right. Let's see. I want to see how much oil I can produce here. All right, so I can make 36. I'll be making 36 light oil per second. So if I crack light oil to petroleum, that is going to consume 30 light oil in 3 seconds divided by 1.25 because the crafting speed is 1.25. So I might need a second one. All right, so 36 is what we need to consume. Let's see here. That will consume 25. All right, so I'm going to need a third one for light oil. And for that, I need more steel. So let's go grab some steel so I can make more chemical plants. Here we go. So I'll make one more of those. And that should give us what we need to take care of the light oil and convert it into something that we have greater need of. And I need to make more lights. Okay. Yeah, so these take water and light oil as inputs. There we go. And then we can send that petroleum. Ideally, that would come down into our storage tank here. But again, I didn't set this up in such an optimum way, did I? All right, so let's remove the Nixie tubes. Just trying to see how I can get it down here. Yeah, I think I'll have to feed it in here. All right. So I'll just run a straight pipe down like that. I'm almost out of the undergrounds. Okay. And then we can put our Nixie tubes back down. And here we're looking for petroleum. Okay. All right. So now we'll start using up the light oil to make petroleum. Now these tanks are not really going to empty out as long as the refineries are running because, well, maybe it will. Let's see. We're making 36, right? 36 light oil per second. Yeah, we can consume 37.5, so we'll get slightly more. Now, the other thing that we could do is we could put another pump and we could make solid fuel. From the excess oil. So let's do that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up both pumps, or both tanks, to this pump. And I'm going to say that if light oil is greater than 10,000, let's say, then this pump turns on. Okay, so that way if we accumulate a lot of oil, it'll send the extra to be converted into solid fuel. So let's make a couple more of those chemical plants. Okay, and we can do one more level of mining productivity. I'm going to have to go back for more pipe. So let's do that while we're waiting. And I'll get some lights as well. I think everything else I'm basically okay on. There. And we can set solid fuel production to consume 36 per second as well. That way, if we don't need any more petroleum for whatever reason, we'll be able to eat up all of the light oil that gets produced. Okay. So this light oil, I will run up here. Yeah, this has to be on a second line so that this pump controls when we use it. All right, now these plants I'm going to turn in the opposite direction, and we will make solid fuel from light oil. Now, whenever you make solid fuel, you should use light oil as a priority, because if you look at the recipes, you get solid fuel from 10 light oil, but if you make it from petroleum, it takes 20, and if you make it from heavy oil, it takes 20. So light oil is the most efficient way to make solid fuel. All right, and that will consume 8.3. Or 4, essentially 4 each. So if I want to consume 36, divided by 4 is 10, 9. Yeah, it's 9. So let's make 10 of these, and these we can put close together. Since they only have a single fluid input. All right, so we can just do that. All right, so let's make 8 more of those. I can only do 4, and then I need more iron, which fortunately is not far away. And it looks like my buffer is empty, so I'm going to have to take it off the belt. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3. Okay, looks like I'm not going to get 10 out of this. So we'll just we'll make ourselves happy with 8 machines. I don't really want to make a lot of solid fuel. I'm just doing it because we can, and we've got plenty of oil to do it right now. But generally I want all this oil to be making petroleum. Okay, but this is a good way to get rid of some of the extra oil that we have accumulated here. And then we can run this over to the steam engines and give this priority so that we'll use solid fuel whenever it's available, and we'll only use coal when there's no solid fuel. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. Let's see. So ideally, we're going to run it, yeah, 2 away from this pipe. Like that. Okay, not the prettiest layout here. Okay, and then I'll set the input priority to the left. So that way it'll always pull from this side unless there's nothing there, and then it'll take from the other side instead. I guess that doesn't matter. Yeah, you can see how fast it's eating up coal. Okay, so the solid fuel has 25 megajoules of energy versus 8. So 1 piece of solid fuel will last a little bit longer than 3 pieces of coal. So the other good thing about using solid fuel is that, see, watch how much, you can see how much slower it gets consumed, is that you can use slower belts and inserters if you're feeding your boilers with solid fuel than you could if you're feeding coal, because it doesn't have to feed as many items in. Okay, so now we're getting a mixture. And they'll sort themselves out. The boilers will. The inserters will, they will preferentially take whatever is currently in the boiler. Okay, so right now this is burning fuel. So it won't put any solid fuel in until it's empty. If some coal came by, it would grab the coal and put it in. But once it runs out of coal, it'll start to feed it with solid fuel. Okay, so with this kind of a thing, it doesn't matter if you have a mixed belt. Eventually, it'll all get used up one way or another. Okay. And then we should also do something with excess heavy oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over. And that way I can tap into this line of heavy oil, because I don't really have any room over here to get... No, actually I do. Let's see. If I put that there, and I put that there, and I move that out of the way. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's do this. And again, we'll just enable this when we have lots of heavy oil. So if heavy oil is greater than 10,000, this pump will turn on. All right. And that one we can convert into light oil. Okay, because whatever we're not using to make lubricant, we can turn it into light oil, send it over here, and then the light oil will either make solid fuel or more petroleum. All right, and I think I'm only going to need one of these, but let's see. So we're going to do heavy oil cracking to light oil. Ah, wonderful. All right, so we can put a pipe there. I'll need water. So I'm going to tap into this water line again. There. And this will make light oil from heavy. And then we can just feed it into the tank over here. There we go. And let's see what that's going to consume. That'll consume 16.667 heavy oil per second. And we're producing 8. All right, so this will easily consume all the extra heavy oil that we make that we're not turning into lubricant. And again, we're only gonna make light oil when we have more than 10,000 combined. So it'll be like 5,000 in each tank is when that pump will turn off. That way we'll always have some oil available to make more lubricant when we need it. Okay, and then because these tanks should never fill up, we'll be able to continue cranking out petroleum as much as we need. And we can see now that we're starting to accumulate petroleum. Well, we're not using much plastic either. That's part of the reason, but we're starting to accumulate some in the tank because we're producing petroleum faster than we're consuming it right now. Okay, so now that we have advanced oil done, I want to start making some bots. And basically these are just going to be personal construction bots. That's all I'm after at this moment. So I did craft modular armor, which I'm already wearing, since that's the best armor I can make without blue circuits. And personal roboports, I think they're 2x2. Oh, I need batteries. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to make some batteries. Okay, yeah, dimensions are 2x2. So I think what we'll do is I'll put in 2 personal roboports, I'll put a battery there, and then I'll fill out all the rest of it with personal solar panels or portable solar panels or whatever they're called. All right, let's see what other... Let's research surveillance. Battery Mark II would be nice, but we need blue circuits to make them anyway, so there's not much point in doing it now. Same with power armor. We need blue circuits, and we don't have those, and we won't have them for a while. Oh, actually, I can do one more level of mining productivity, so let's do that. Okay, well, let's make some batteries. We can do that fairly quickly. I don't need to make a ton of them. I just need enough to make this equipment that I want. Where are they? Batteries. Okay. Yeah, so battery takes an iron plate, copper plate, and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid takes sulfur and water and iron plates, and then the sulfur comes from water and petroleum. Okay, so we'll just set up something fairly simple here. Let's see, this is my output. So what I'll do is I will tap into the petroleum after it goes into my plastic plants. Okay. Sulfur. Okay, I got the lines correct. Let's get some water up here for this side. There we go. Hopefully this single line of water will be enough to keep all this fed. I think it will be. Okay, so we got sulfur. And then for sulfuric acid, how much do we need here? Oh, I need 6.25 per second. So I'm actually going to need, what I really need is a stack inserter. Fortunately, I can make those now that I have red circuits. Okay, and then we need water for this as well. Alright, there's my stack inserter. Ah, and we need iron plate. Alright, so the iron plate, I think I will just feed in manually. Again, since I'm not setting up mass production here, I'm just setting up enough that I can build the stuff that I want. So I'll throw in some iron, and that'll give me some acid. Okay, and then the batteries. I need another chemical plant for that, and for that I need more iron. So let's go rob some more iron from these belts. Okay, looks like I'm starting to get some. There we go. And I already have a lot of copper. Alright, so one more chemical plant, and then we'll be able to make the batteries. And I'll just put it directly there. And that's going to be for batteries. Alright, so the acid is just going to feed directly in there. And here I'll just put in, what is it, 1 to 1? Yeah, so I'll just put in like 2 stacks of iron, 2 stacks of copper. I'll put in another stack of iron there for the acid. Okay. And that way we can make some batteries. Alright, so how many batteries do I need? I need at least 90 for the personal roboports. Another 5. So I'm going to need 95 batteries. And then I'll also start making the portable solar panels. Those I'm going to need 2 for. I'm going to need 15 of those. Okay, so I don't, yeah, those take 10 seconds each, so I don't think I want to handcraft those. Well, that'd be 150 seconds. It's what, 3 minutes? That's not bad. I can do that. Oh, plus the solar panels. And those are just copper, steel, and circuits. Alright, so it'll take me about 6 minutes to handcraft all of that. So I will do that between now and the next episode so that we have at least all the equipment in our armor to manage robots, and then in the next episode we'll actually build the robots. Now in this case I think I only need 20 because these Yeah. Yeah, the Mark 1 personal roboports have a limit of 10 bots. Right, so I only need to make 20 bots. That's all that I'll be able to manage anyway. And I'll think about maybe doing these night glasses as well. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we're doing on power. If I have enough power to handle that, then we'll make some of those as well. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, that should last a while. So I'll just let that run. And like I said, in the meantime, I'll start making the solar panels and the personal battery. Actually, the battery I can make already because I only need 5 batteries for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.